Hey, hey. I'm a little congested. We had a storm last night, and my sinuses are just. Ugh. I'm looking for the third part of Savannah's interview right now. Just in Savannah, Guthrie will return to the Today Show Monday, April 6th. So Savannah is returning to the Today Show on April 6th. So that's in just like a week in like 3 days. Let me see her. I gotta return to the. What is this? Oh, I'm so tired. Like not enough coffee in the world. Oh, today's coffee. It's Andy's mint coffee with some vanilla creamer. It's not that bad. I mean, I've had better. I think this is the new one. I think I found it. Let me see here. Posted at 7:41 today. It was updated at 7:50. In her first interview, since Nancy Guthrie went missing in February, Guthrie told What's Her Face? She believes returning to the Day Show is part of my purpose right now. Okay, I was checking on my dog, see what he's doing. Even if it's hard to imagine coming back to a workplace of joy and lightness, I cannot come back and try to be something that I'm not. Okay, we already know that. Let's see, but I cannot come back because it's my family. Yeah, we'll read that after we're done. I forgot to pull my chat up. All right, let's believe this is it. It was posted at 7:41.
Throughout this, you're resolute and strong like your mama. But did you, at some point during all of this, have to wrestle with it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not done. But God doesn't tell us not to wrestle with Him. This isn't some cheap faith. And my mom taught me that. God only requires our authentic presence. And that He has. But I never doubted. One of my mom's best friend told me that she had been going through a hard time, and she said to my mom, how have you kept your faith all these years? Why? Losing your husband, all the different things that my mom had been through. Like, Nancy, how do you keep your faith? And my mom said to her, well, where else would I go? And I hold that with me. But faith is how I will stay connected to my mom. God is how I'm holding hands with my mom. And I won't let sadness win for her. She taught me. See, I saw her grieve. I saw her world shatter. I saw it. And I saw her get up. And I saw her believe. And I saw her love. And I saw her hope. And I saw her smile. And I saw her laugh. I saw her joy. I saw her love of the world and adventure.
Okay, I gotta pause real quick. Why is Savannah talking about Nancy? And I saw her. and I saw her, and I saw her. Like, all these I saw hers. I wonder if the family actually knows that she's no longer alive. If to me, it feels like she's talking about her in past tense. I could be wrong, but that's just, like, the vibe I'm getting.
I saw her belief. I saw her faith. She taught me. She taught all of us. And I may not do it as well as her, but I will do it. I will do it for my kids. I will. I will not fall apart. I will not let whoever did this take my children's mother from them. I will not let them take my joy. They will not take my sister's joy. They will not take my brother's joy. They will not take our
Cameron
love.
looks just like Nancy.
They will not take our faith. But our anguish is real. We need help. We need someone to tell the truth.
Yes.
I have no anger in my heart. I have hope in my heart. I have love. But this family needs peace.
Yes. Yes.
I don't think we deserve anything more or less than any other person. We don't say, why us, why me, why anything. If I say why me for this horrible thing, then I have to say why me for all the beautiful blessings of my life. Well then, yes, why? I don't know why. I'm grateful for my blessings. And I'm heartbroken for the sorrow.
Yes.
I'm heartbroken.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I am crushed, but I am not abandoned.
Yes.
No, we are not alone. Do we need an answer? And someone has it in their power to help. It is never too late. And when you do, the warmth of love and forgiveness that will come.
You can see it on Savannah's face. Like, she wants her mom back. Like, she's grieving hard. You can see it. If you've never lost a person that's close to you, then I'm sorry to say, but you don't understand. It's horrible. It's a horrible feeling. And to think, the what ifs, like with Savannah, she's starting to think that her mom was taken because of her. And that's gonna eat her up for the rest of her life.
Will be greater than can be imagined. I know what it is to be forgiven.
Yes.
And there is no greater joy.
Yes.
And that joy awaits. Whoever can hear this and find it in their heart to help.
Yes. You're focusing on people in Tucson. Somebody there must have seen or known something and maybe forgot about it or didn't pay attention to it.
How can someone vanish
Yeah.
without a trace?
Yeah.
How? Someone knows something, even if that something is someone's been acting strange for the last 7-8 weeks, even if it's just that. Somebody knows. And maybe somebody's afraid. And I understand that.
It's
But
like
our
somebody
hearts
would say
are
something.
in agony. We can't breathe. We can't live. We can't go on. We can't be at peace. We can't go forward. We have to know what happened to her.
Yes. You talked about coming back to New York. One of the other enduring images for me was walking into Studio 1A and seeing you there, speaking to everybody. What was it like for you, walking back in there?
I really wanted to come and see everybody.
Yeah.
I just love this beautiful place that we call home, where we get to come and be every day. And I know how much people have prayed for me and loved me. All the people that you see on TV, and then all the people that you don't. All the notes and messages that I have received are just so beautiful. I just wanted to be with my family. They're my family too.
You said something when you were there, and you said, I don't know how to come back, and I don't know how not to come back.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I look at the Today Show, which is the answer to all my dreams, actually better than my dreams.
So how about coming back? I know everyone's wondering.
So it's hard to imagine doing it because it's such a place of joy and lightness, and
She really likes being on Today Show. You can see that.
I can't come back and
Talking about
try to be something that I'm not. But I can't not come back because it's my family. I think it's part of my purpose right now. I want to smile. And when
I think it's a little too soon, in my opinion, for her to go back, but that's just my opinion. But, big but, the sooner she gets back in front of the camera and acts like, because she's going to have to act like everything, like she's okay. Like everything is okay. If you know my past, if you're in here yesterday and you heard about my past, I put on her front all the time. All the time. And that's what she's going to have to do. And that's going to show. Because you know the kidnapper or kidnappers are going to be watching. They're going to see if she's going to say anything. They're going to see if she is hurting still. So I'm probably going to watch it on April 6th just to see.
do, it will be real. And my joy will be my protest. My joy will be my answer. And being there is joyful. And when it's not, I'll say so. And I've been so grateful to have this family. I consider this my family, my greater family. And when times are hard, you want to be with your family. And I want to be with my family. And so I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'll belong anymore. But I would like to try. I would like to try. And I'm not going to be the same. Like that old poem, more beautiful in the broken places.
I mean, that was put perfectly. Jenna, I feel like I just want to talk to you because there's no one at this table who's closer to Savannah than you. You guys are like sisters. And I just wanted you to say a few words.
Well, I just want to say everything she said to you over the last 2 days is perfectly Savannah. She has been braver than I can even imagine. She has been so vulnerable. I mean, she took her pain, her heart, her faith, her family, in the midst of her despair. She laid it on the table for all of us. She didn't have to do that.
No, she didn't.
And she has, and I think of all of those people who have had heartbreak, they feel seen.
I was thinking that too, because she said she has a purpose, and I was thinking if you can come here and sit here and do this job through that, you are showing something incredible. And I think a lot of people are wondering, well, When is she coming back? Well, she is coming back to this job that she loves here at Today, and we're glad to say that she will start here, sitting next to this wonderful human being, Craig, Monday, April the 6th.
Because she is not going to let sadness win. Joy is going to be her protest. It is where she belongs. It's where we all want her to be. We cannot wait to welcome her back with open arms here in Studio 1E. There's not been a day that's passed since all of this went down where someone has not come up to me and then someone said, "When's Savannah coming
When's
back?
Savannah coming back?"
Yes.
I know.
April 6th.
And what's wonderful is it's almost symbolic, after Easter and the resurrection,
Yes.
rising.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I think the family will hold hands and help her.
I had not thought about that. Yes.
Of course you did, Mr.
And
Roser.
she had, of course.
Of course,
too,
of course.
That
And I think from her point of view, too, I was thinking, imagine if all of your life is so chaotic. There's a place to come that's normal. Like, this is for her.
I kind of wonder if she wants to come back, or because, like, I don't know. We haven't heard Annie talk. We haven't heard Cameron talk. Tommaso's definitely not going to talk, and I don't blame him. I just wonder if Savannah is also feeling like she's not getting enough support from her bio family, if that makes any sense. Yeah, she's down there with Annie. I'm sure Cameron's still there, or he flew back, whatever. That's the only family down there that they have that I know of. I mean, there's probably more that I haven't heard about. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm just wondering because she is very, very close to all these people. Every single day, they do, they run through whatever they're going to talk about with all these people. And she just feels more at home with these people, which is fine. I'm just worried about her coming back too soon.
She's had ours all the time.
I do think we should mention something else here before we take a quick break. You've sat here for a few weeks. You got a lot happening in your life. You got 2 girls you're rearing by yourself. You got a company you're running. And when the coach called and they said we need somebody to come in and pinch hit, you didn't bat an eye.
and we needed you.
Oh, I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? That's why when we say family, we need
Yeah,
it.
sure.
And when Savannah comes back on the 6th, which is going to be a beautiful reunion for you guys. If you'd like to hear all 3 parts of our conversation, we're putting them together in a podcast. Just search Today for wherever you listen. And also, we're going to have more on Savannah. There's a special Dateline. We hope more people will see this and maybe someone will know something. It'll be tonight at 9, 8 Central. Savannah did say her fantasy from doing this is that somebody
Do we need to do a watch party? Should we do a watch party? Shout out to my one bush watcher. I see you. But for the people who are replaying, let me know in the comments. Should we do a watch party tonight? I will check my comments throughout the day after I get off. And yeah, I should be able to, I'll be able to do it tonight.
like she was saying, saw something and it'll jar their memory or jar their courage to come out and say it.
Using that spotlight, it's also reflecting light, and Savannah and her family are doing that for other missing family members.
Very
as
important to her. You're right. You're right.
To the point you just made, by the way, again, if you have any information that could help in the search for Nancy, a reminder, there's a reward of up to $1 million.
You don't have to call this number just for Nancy. It could be any missing person. Like Sebastian Rogers, Summer Wells. Those 2 cases were very, very big. Anybody that's missing and you know they're missing and you see them, or you saw their flyer somewhere and you see them, call this number. Bring them home.
And we also urge you to call that phone number on your screen there. It's 1-800-CALL-FBI. Can't wait to have you back, SG. We'll be right back.
Oh, they call her SG.
It's been great. I saved hundreds when I switched.
Hold on. Oh my god. I was kind of hoping we were going to get a little bit more information. I'm not going to lie. All right, let's see what X is saying. Oh, my back is killing me in this chair. I got a new chair, and I absolutely hate it. Oh, it's Miami's first day. Okay, April 6th. Oh wait, I shared something. What am I doing? Definitely tell that I don't know how to use this. I shared something too. Okay, this.
When they first found out the mom was missing.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me make it bigger. Here we go.
Why are we hearing about this now?
You know, Jesse, I watched this interview several times, in fact, multiple times today with some of my colleagues, and we really tore it apart. And for the life of us, there are a lot of questions, a lot more questions than answers. And I don't have an answer for why we are just hearing about the back door. But let me just quickly go through several points. Number one is Savannah Guthrie tells us that when her sister calls her, when first calls her, Savannah goes, "You better call the police." Well, the sister says, "No, the police are here already." You know, Jesse, using common sense, if a loved one goes missing, the first thing you're going to do is call or text the people that are closest to that person to find out if you've heard from that person. That in and of itself seems a little odd to me as to why the sister or brother or anybody did not reach out to Savannah Guthrie prior to calling the police or while they were waiting for the police. There's about a 12-minute gap between the time 911 is called to the time the police arrive. That's number one.
Oh, shoot. Theories are going to come right back around, and they're going to come right back around to Annie and Tommaso. Right. I'll mark my words. Mark my words. I bet you that's what's going to happen.
One. Number two is, this would be the last scenario of an 84-year-old lady who has physical limitations that anybody would contemplate kidnapping for a ransom. There was nothing that would have been consistent at the very onset to lead anybody to believe that Nancy Guthrie was the target of a kidnapping for ransom. That statement in and of itself causes me to now have a lot of questions as to how someone would have even gotten to that point from just being on the phone prior to showing up. Number three is, Savannah Guthrie offered later on in her interview with some very specific facts that her mother left the house in her pajamas without her shoes. How did Savannah Guthrie know that at the time her mother left the house, she was clothed in her pajamas without her shoes on? That leads...
Pause. The only way that she's actually going to know is, like I said yesterday, Annie is going to be the only one that knows. Savannah doesn't live there. Savannah lives, what, in New York? I think that's where the Today Show is taped. So Annie and possibly Tommaso are only going to know what pajamas are missing and if any shoes are missing. Okay? Now, we all know she had trouble walking. Good day, she could walk to the mailbox and back. Most days she couldn't do that. So I'm going to go ahead and assume she either had like Walmart delivery to her house all the time or Amazon. As we know, she got that Amazon package that Saturday and it was still there by Sunday. She didn't go and get it. I want to know why she didn't go and get that package from her front doorstep. I know as soon as the Amazon package comes, I immediately go out there and get it. I can see them from my window when they pull up. I go out and get mine, right? As soon as they leave, I'll go out and get it. So it's either Annie. I'm just gonna leave Tommaso out of this equation because he's a man. Men don't pay attention. We know this, ladies. But Annie's gonna be the only one there that knows what pajamas are missing and if any shoes or a purse. I'm assuming Nancy had a couple different purses. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that. So she's gonna know if any of that's missing. Now, if Annie doesn't know, the pajamas and bare feet was in the ransom note. That's how Savannah would know. It's either one or two ways.
Leads me to believe that law enforcement perhaps has other video that, quite frankly, they have not disclosed. Unless Nancy Guthrie only had one pair of shoes in that house, how would anybody be able to know that she left the house without her shoes on. That's a very specific material fact, and it caused us to pause and wonder, there's a lot of things that we just don't know.
Yep.
You know, you bring up three really interesting observations. I don't, you know, I'm not an investigator, but you know how these things go, and I can't explain the things that you're raising either. The notes, the two notes, she says, she still believes those weren't hoaxes. Well, what does that tell you?
Pause. Sorry, I have a lot to say. She believes that 2 of the 5 notes, I believe there was 5, sent are real for the simple fact that there's information in these 2 notes that either the family would only know, or what I just had the second one. Remember, it's too early. But there's something in those notes that only the family would know about. And that's what I think Savannah, Annie, Tommaso, Cameron, if I don't know about the other ones if they actually, you know, believe this, but that's what Savannah that's why she believes that they're real. There's something in those that distinguish that they know it's Nancy, that they know they have her.
She not only said that 2 of the ransom notes with specificity she believes are real, she actually also suggested that it was one kidnapper. She never refers to individuals, meaning plural. If you go back and listen to her interview, she talks about one person. And so that leads me to believe that in those ransom notes, and again, there may have been some clues within those notes. By way of example, we took your mom in her pajamas. You will notice that those pajamas are not there. We took her without her shoes. Her shoes or her slippers are still by her bedside. And so there is some specific facts that are known to law enforcement that, quite frankly, they're keeping very close to the vest. I will just say this to you, that this interview, I don't think helped the investigation. In fact, if anything, I think it may have hurt. I think it also may have hurt their credibility because there are just things that just, quite frankly, don't add up. And statistically, these cases generally lead back to someone who's within that inner circle.
I wish I could have been there, a fly on the wall, when Nanos watched Savannah's little interview when she said about the back door being propped open. Unless Savannah was lying about that, or Nanos is lying about those thumb tabs that they got off the cameras, that there was nobody in that backyard. So why would somebody go in the front door, go to the back door, prop it open, and not even use the door? Why? So either Savannah's lying about the door being propped open, or Nanos is. Or Nanos is lying about, you know, the thumb tabs. So there's stuff in this that doesn't make sense. But if Nanos is the one that's lying, and Savannah is right about the back door being propped open, there's so much about this case that we don't know. So much. They're hiding so much.
Wow, that's a strong statement, Stuart. We'll see how it plays out. Why would, putting the credibility issue aside, why would this interview hurt the investigation?
I'm not saying that it hurts the investigation, but I do believe that less is more, because the more information you let out to the general public, and obviously there is an individual, at least one individual, because we saw them on that Ring doorbell, it gives that person an individual to backtrack and perhaps cover his or her tracks. And so what my suggestion would be is that less is more, allow the investigation to run its course. I don't see any benefit to Savannah Guthrie going on national TV and kind of, you know, opening herself up. Look, it is very upsetting. Clearly, this is a devastating situation for this family. But I'm not so sure that the investigators are in any way supportive of Savannah Guthrie going on a talk show to kind of lay out certain material relevant facts. By way of example, pajamas without her shoes. And by the way, Jesse, if you go back, I believe that Savannah Guthrie said that she heard my mother said was begging for mercy. Now, I don't know if that's her interpretation, or is there a recording that was heard her mom pleading for mercy when she was leaving the house with whoever.
Oh Maybe we need to go back and rewatch a couple of these. Mom was begging for mercy. I remember her saying something along those lines. Oh, what? Hold on. Oops. Don't know. Yeah, let me Is this the one that she was talking about it in?
I guess a normal weekend for you.
Yeah.
The weekend your mom went missing. Tell me what you were doing and what
Yeah,
happened.
this is it. Hold on, let's watch
Well,
this.
we just Mike. I had given Mike for Christmas a boys' trip to go play tennis, and so he had been gone for the weekend. So I took my kids actually to Carson's. So we had a beautiful, fun night together, and then I came home. And really, it just got home at the same time that Mike came home. We were just saying hi, putting down our stuff, and the kids were running around. And my sister called me, and I said, "Is everything okay?" And she said, "No." She said, "Mom's missing." And I said, "What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?" She said, "She's gone." And she was in a panic. I was in a panic. I'm like, "Call 911."
Yeah.
She's like, "I did. We've called them. They're here." And we thought that she must have had like some kind of medical episode in the night, and that somehow, the paramedics had come because the back doors were propped open, and that didn't make any sense. We thought maybe they came and there was a stretcher and they took her out the back. But her phone was there and her purse was there and all her things. And it just didn't make any sense. So, Annie and Tommy had.
As she's talking about the back door being propped open, she just, what's the word I'm looking for? Confused? Is that the word I'm looking for? She's thinking like, what the hell? I bet you they know a lot more. And I bet you the back door being propped open, I wonder if the kidnapper would have done that just to throw him off, to think that they took her out the back somewhere. Because the way she looks when she talks about it, she's just like, what the hell? Why would they do that? They didn't take her out the back, they took her out the front. We know this kind of look. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's just the vibe I'm getting.
Already called all the hospitals, but then I'm like, I'm going to call the hospital. So then I started calling the hospitals, and the police were there and talking to her at the same time, and it was just chaos and disbelief.
Within hours, Savannah was making the long journey home to Tucson.
You saw Annie and Cam when you got
Yeah.
to their house. Tell me about that moment.
Just disbelief and hugging each other. And I think we were on the phone with the sheriff and trying to, really make clear from the very early moments, Annie and Tommy were saying this isn't that case that you are used to where someone wanders off. She can't wander off. My mom, she was in tremendous pain. Her back was very bad. She was trying to, on a good day, she could walk down to the mailbox and get the mail, but most days not. So there was no wander off. And the doors were propped open.
Yeah.
And there was blood on the front doorstep. And the Ring camera had been yanked off.
Yeah.
And so we were saying, this is
Do something.
this is not
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
This isn't, something is very wrong here.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about what possibly could have happened? Like, what could have happened? What went down? Did you?
I think my brother, my siblings are so amazing. My brother,
Okay, hold on. I need to pass.
he spent
I'm gonna get to that part.
for ransom. Well, why? What? And then, it sounds so. Yeah, maybe. But I knew that. that it's because she's my mom and somebody thought she had too much to bear. To think that I brought this to her bedside. I'm so sorry, Mommy. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to my sister and my brother and my kids and my nephew. Sorry. We want to thank all of you for the prayer.
Together. In all the despair, you sat and managed to think of words to say. How were you able to do that in that moment?
Well, my siblings are amazing. Special powers of with all these.
Maybe it's in the
posted
first
one
one.
thing or said one thing that the three of us.
I think it's in the
little
first one.
person.
We don't have to watch that one. But that is interesting take. Like, that's definitely interesting. And I'm kind of leading to believe that the siblings know, like the siblings know that she's. I honestly don't think she's alive. I don't, and it's in the one. Oh my gosh, the one Instagram video that Savannah did when she's talking about the celebration of life or the celebration. Or they want to celebrate. So let's see what else is going on these streets. Nancy Guthrie's doors were propped open. Savannah Guthrie, yes, we know that. That's all that's going to be on here. Got to return today, show on April 6th. We already know that. Oh my god, that's all that's going to be. Let's see what's on the media area. What's this?
Before we say goodnight, some thoughts on our friend Savannah Guthrie. The last 54 days have been tough around here, but nothing like what it's been for Savannah and her family. Tonight, we saw that raw emotion pour out in her conversation with Hoda. If it was tough to watch, you're not alone. It was tough for all of us, and even tougher for her. You may have never met Savannah, but you feel for her because you actually do know her. She's the same person in real life as she is on TV. And for years, you've trusted her to tell those stories impacting America. And right now, she's telling the hardest story of her life. And to be so open about her grief, her fear, and her hope at such a vulnerable time should remind you why you stayed with her for so long. And it's because she is just like all of us. Many of you have sent me messages or stopped me in the street to say, please tell Savannah we are thinking of her. Savannah knows there are armies of families praying and thinking about her mom. And as you heard her say tonight, her faith is ever strong. So we end tonight like we started this journey 54 days ago. If you have any information, please call the FBI tip line. The number is on your screen. There are people working to take your call. There is a reward, but most importantly, it is the right thing to do.
Interesting. What's this?
Fox News alert, police are still on the hunt for Nancy Guthrie. No leads, no suspect, and no idea where she is. There hasn't been a press conference in almost 2 months. So now Savannah's stepping in. She returned to the Today Show and spilled new details about the case. Listen.
We thought that.
Okay, no, sorry. What's this? What is this? Oh man, I thought it
My
was
sister
something.
called
I was
me.
like, what is this? I see this. I'm like, what the heck is that? Okay, we watched that. I don't think there's going to be anything more new.
Happened. She was attacked.
It's on April 18th. That's an old one. Going back to work. Regularly opens up with the first interview. All right, let's go. Hold on. Let's go and check this and see. What's Brennan got? Let's see if he's got any shorts. Did we watch this one? I can't remember.
Hey guys, so this new Savannah Guthrie interview is just heartbreaking, and there's a ton of new information
Yeah,
in it. She says,
New. Let me see. What is?
In my view, this was not a breaking and entering where, like, she just ruled out that Nancy Guthrie stumbled upon a burglar who was there to steal and got in the crosshairs of this guy and then got taken. That's, if what she just said there is known, then that's not true. And as you know, a burglar who's going into somebody's home in the middle of the night at 1:47 a.m. is not like, I'm definitely going to check the bedroom where the homeowner might be sleeping right now, right? It's like,
yeah, who's going to
I mean,
do
maybe
that?
they would, maybe I'm wrong, but she seems to be saying that the mother was taken from the bed, the guy was standing over poor Nancy, and then dragged her out of there. No purse, no phone, no meds.
Hold on.
I feel like.
So, how? Okay, I get it. 84-year-old woman. In that time, oh yeah, she would have been in, if she was home, she probably would have been in bed by like 7 o'clock. We already know old people go to bed early. We know this. But how do they exactly know? Because Savannah said it. This guy was standing over Nancy. How do they know Nancy was taken from her bed? She's old. She probably has bladder issues. She could have been up going to the bathroom. It's possible. Work in a nursing home for like a week and you'll find out. But how do they know? And then with Savannah saying that she heard her mom begging for mercy. I'll bet you anything, because it has been, I think Nano said it, I might be wrong, but somebody within the LE area has said that a motion sensor was tripped inside the house. So I'm going to bet you there's cameras inside. There has to be at least one camera. I'll bet you.
In my view, this is not like, I'm definitely going to check the bedroom where the homeowner might be sleeping right now, right? It's like, I mean, maybe they would, maybe I'm wrong, but she seems to be saying that the mother was taken from the bed, the guy was standing over poor Nancy, and then dragged her out of there. No purse, no phone, no meds, no shoes, in the pajamas that she was wearing. To me, that does not sound like a breaker and an enterer. It sounds like someone who was there to get Nancy. And it does suggest to me that when she said taken from her bed a couple of weeks ago, it was not an accident. That is what they believe, because here she doubles down saying standing over her in the bed, which may just be a figure of speech. You know, she's just sort of picturing how this went down. But either way, she's twice.
I don't think that, I mean, then this goes back to Savannah being trained to be on TV. But that is a very, very important clue with somebody standing over the bed. I think Savannah is fed up with Nanos's bullshit. And she's like, look, I'm done. I'm done. I am going to start leaking stuff, which is probably will hurt the case. It probably will, and it probably already has. But I forgot where I was going with this. Y'all get sidetracked. I don't remember. If I remember, I'll pause it again.
Now said Nancy was taken from her bed. And therefore, I believe that's what she believes. And therefore,
oh, that's what I was going to say. So I don't think Savannah would say my mom was, she was taken from her bed without actual proof. So either there is cameras inside that home or there's a lot of blood on that bed. And that's the only way. Because I mean, like, if you get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, you're not going to make your bed. You're going to pull your covers off. You're going to get up, walk your happy ass to the bathroom, come back, lay back down in bed, and pull the covers over. I know that's what I do.
I believe that's what investigators believe, and therefore the theory that Nancy may have been wandering around and bumped into a burglar is out.
Yeah, no.
If we trust what the sheriff believes. I feel like
Yeah. I do. See, evidence in I think Guthrie abduction involved multiple people and criminals. What is this?
a retired Pima County homicide detective named Kurt Dabb gave an interview to Parade magazine, and he said he believes there may be 2 to 4 accomplices on this crime, saying the logistics of something of this magnitude is much too much for one person to handle, in my professional opinion, based on the facts as I know them right now. So then that would mean no one brought their cell phone.
Right. So I'm agree with Randy. There certainly there have to be multiple people. You're not just going to have one person go in and then abduct her and then bring her out. Where is the car? You're not going to want to leave the car while you go into the house. There had to at least be someone in the car. And if you remember from some of our earlier interviews, that blood pattern out along the walkway there was in sort of a straight line, which would suggest, I think I said earlier, that she might have been carried and it's driven.
One, I don't know, when he said straight line, this thing like popped up. I was like, oh, okay. 2, 100% there was a getaway driver. 100%. I think there was 2 people plus a getaway driver, so there's 3. She definitely went out the front door.
Dripping down behind. One thing about before I get to the cell
Hey,
phone.
there's that package I was talking about.
One thing about before.
There, that was delivered on Saturday. It was, unless she was having back issues that day and was like, oh, I'm gonna rest my back and I'll get it tomorrow, or I'll try later. But right there, it's right there. Why didn't she get her package? I don't know. That's just weird to me.
Before I get to the cell phone, before that back door being propped, what's sort of stuck in my mind is you're going into a house, and whether it's an abduction or what, but let's say it's a kidnapping, maybe he propped the door because he didn't know what he was going to find, and he was thinking, I got to get out. If I have to get out quickly, I don't want to be fumbling with a door. As for the cell phones, yes, you can ping cell phones. What the FBI and law enforcement can do is go to the cell phone provider and get the data for any cell phones that ping those towers. You can get a approximate location. So what they could do is check all of the cell phones that were hitting the area around that time, and then try to.
Wait, but Eric, can't they do the geofencing where it's like they don't have to go through all that? They say. They have technology to say, show us which phones were in Nancy Guthrie's
area,
home,
yes,
and around
so
her property.
At an approximate area. So all they need to do is take the time, and then they can have every phone that pinged around those towers. It's not completely
I think they've already done that because we're at what, day 55 now? That could have been done right in the beginning. I think they've already done it in this. The kidnappers, they didn't have their phones on them. None of them did. If there's more than one, none of them did. They were smart about it, and they left their phones wherever they were at. Because, I mean, yeah, they did the delivery guy. I can't remember if he's the one who delivered I think he was the one who delivered the Amazon package. And then they did Luke. But nothing came back with them because their phones were in the area. So I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that they've already did the geofencing area, whatever. Kidnappers' phones weren't there because they would have got them already.
This person doesn't live here and was there at that time of night. And clearly they don't have that data, which would suggest that the criminals didn't bring their phones, which is the smart thing to do. But what, stands out for me is they would have had to be there at some point earlier to case the area. That's a very complex warren of streets. So if they're going to get to that property, they would have had to be there earlier casing it. And I think that's one of the reasons they really wanted those doorbell cams and ring cams and any surveillance cams from property.
See that right there, he just said it. I mean, I kind of think it's somebody that Nancy knows. I think it's somebody she knows just by the casual walk up to the door. If it's, how do I want to put this? Somebody that Nancy knows, and then if it's not somebody she actually knows, and they've been there before. They have 100% been there before. Whether it's someone she knows or somebody who is casing the place, they have been there before. And if it's not anybody she knows, they've been there before casing out the place, trying to figure out best route in, quickest route out. And I do believe they've been there before, so they've already known not to take their cell phones. They probably didn't even take their cell phones when they cased the place out.
Because if they came through during the day just to drive through to see, okay, here's how we get to the house, here's how we get out, maybe something got caught.
A retired Pima County homicide detective named Kurt.
Yeah. I had it set for whatchamacallit. Heck. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to do this every time I come back. That's gonna be dumb. Breaking Savannah reveals new details about Nancy's case. We already know about that. Why didn't Annie call Savannah earlier when Savannah went missing, or when Nancy went missing?
I have a thought about Savannah's interview today. I have many thoughts about it, and I really deep dove it, of course, on the podcast, but I need to talk about this one point that I, as a daughter of a mother who has a sister, do not and cannot understand. And I mean, I went off for about 10 minutes earlier, so this is just going to be a little shortened version of this. One thing Savannah said today that was kind of really shocking is that her sister called her on a Sunday night. We're assuming it's a Sunday night after she's already come home for the weekend from Carson Daly's house. Her husband just came home from his weekend trip, so now it's nighttime.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Dang
Okay,
it.
I have
It just dawned on me when she just said that. It just dawned on me. Okay, Savannah took the kids to Carson's. She got home that Sunday. Husband got home that Sunday. We'll go ahead and assume it's later at night, like 4, 5, maybe 6 o'clock. What time did Savannah get that fucking phone call from Annie? What time? Because, oh, I deleted the picture. Oh, I think Annie got the call like 11 maybe. Annie went to her house, seen mom's not there. I don't know if she called anybody else, but then called the police. And police were there like 12, 12:20, somewhere around there. What time did Savannah get that freaking phone call? Because if you're coming home from a weekend, depending on how far away you are, you're not getting home till 5, 6 o'clock at night.
thought about Savannah's interview today. I have many that was kind of really shocking is that her sister called her on a Sunday night. We're assuming it's a Sunday night after she's already come home for the weekend from Carson Daly's house. Her husband just came home from his weekend trip, so now it's nighttime on a Sunday. Even if it's early, okay, imagine it's 7 p.m. That is 2 hours after Arizona Mountain Time. So at that time, just say it's 5 p.m., 4 p.m. in Arizona. But Annie had found out that her mom was missing in the 11 o'clock region. That's when the church ladies that we still haven't met or heard anything about.
Okay, hold on. So I'm on Eastern time, same as Savannah. So let's say she called her at 4. I think they're like 3 hours behind us. So 4, 3, 2, 1 o'clock. So it'd be 1 or 1-ish here. No, that's too early. That is too early for Savannah and her husband to be home. Oh my God. Just what?
allegedly called Annie to say, we don't know where Nancy is. Annie then gets in her car with Tommaso. They drive 10 minutes, and assume this is at 11 or even 12 p.m. 10 minutes to mom's house to check on mom. And they don't think for 1 second, we should check with Savannah. Has she talked to mom today? Or send a text on the group family chat? Have you guys talked to mom? I can't find mom. No. She does that entire drive, doesn't check in with her sister. This is unheard of. My family, I am a sister. My sister and I are close, and we're very close with our mom. If I couldn't find my mom and she lived alone, the first person I call, especially en route, would be my sister to be like, I'm freaking out.
Wow. Go and follow this girl. What's her name? This is Donna Bowling. Go follow her. I can honestly tell you. Okay. So sidebar, but we'll get back to this. This is how the first person that I called. Okay. Back in 2019, my mom's house caught on fire. Her cousin heard it on the scanner, called me. Keep in mind, I was no contact with my mom at this time, and I wasn't all the way up to the day she died. So he messaged me, hey, there's a cop going to your mom's house. Okay, what the hell? I was like, all right, I'll go over and check and see what's going on. Then I'm on my way. He goes, EMS is at your mom's house. Fire truck is at your mom's house. I'm hauling ass over there. I am hauling ass. I literally live going 55, 10 minutes. 10 minutes, if that. But no, I was going faster than that. I will admit that. Backwards. I get there. Keep in mind, I've been no contact with my mom for at this point about a year. She looks at me. She goes, call Brenda. I already knew who she was talking about, my uncle's wife. She has since passed. But I called her. And it was just the first person that I called. I'm an only child. My stepdad/dad, he had passed away at this point. I don't really talk to my uncle, so I called his wife to let her know because she lives in the same town as my mom. She came over, and my mom's other sister, they don't talk either. It's a whole nother story. But didn't let her know. But first person, I actually thought about calling Brenda on my way. Why? I want to know. God, I wish Savannah would say. But she's not going to because she's going to keep some things to herself, and I get that, and I understand that. But what time did Savannah and her husband get home? I can understand the hustle and bustle. You come in from he's coming home from a weekend with the guys. He's got all his stuff with him. He's sitting it on the floor, might be unpacking it, or might just say, you know what, I'm tired. I'll do it tomorrow. I've done that. And then Savannah gets home with the kids. She's getting them ready for probably a bath or dinner or bedtime, depending on what time she got home. So he's doing his thing. She's messing with the kids. And then in this, Annie calls. So this has got to be late at night. This has to be. Even when I lived a couple states away, it would take me between 10 to 15 hours, depending if I had my son with me because he was a baby, to drive back to my home state. I'd get there like 11, 12, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, depending on how many times I had to stop to change his butt. You know what I mean? Like, I would get in late. So, wow. So why would Annie wait so damn long to call Savannah? Savannah would have been, okay, if I was Annie, Savannah was my sister, and I knew she lived in New York or far away, first person I'd call. Hey, have you heard from mom? No, I haven't. Why? What's going on? Hey, I got to her, or so-and-so called me. She didn't show up for church, so I came over to check on her, thinking maybe she fell. She's not here. I'm going to call the cops. I'm going to start calling hospitals to see if whatever, da-da-da-da-da. And then Savannah would probably be like, okay, either let me know in case I need to get a flight, or I'm booking a flight right now. I would want to call my sister to get her out there as fast as possible, to get her there as soon, because she's an extra set of eyes. I'm sorry, I'm ranting.
I am not able to get a hold of mom, and she didn't show up to the church thing. That is the one thing I will never I can't wrap my mind around. So then they get there, they call the police get there, and hours later, Annie calls Savannah to say, mom's missing. And then Savannah says, we have to call the hospital. Have you called the hospitals? And Annie says, we already called all the hospitals. I'm sorry, what? You've called the police? And
So Annie thinking, I'm going to call the hospitals before I'm going to call my sister. When did she call Cameron? How long did it take Cameron to get there? We don't know that. We literally know nothing about Cameron, unless I've missed it all. But she had enough time. Yes, Popo would be the first ones I'd call. My mother's 84. She's missing. Send somebody. I'm worried about her, okay? Next, I would be calling my siblings. Let them know what's going on. If they want to come, they can come right then and there. Or I will let them know. I'm going to call the hospitals. I'm going to call, I don't know if I'd call the coroner. That'd be weird. Maybe I probably would. Yeah. I'm just weird like that. But I'm going to call this, this, and this. And I'm going to let you, and I'll call you back. She had enough time to call all these hospitals. You know what? How many hospitals are in Tucson? Let's Google that. Let me see here. Are in Tucson. Okay. We're going to share this. Okay, Tucson has several major hospital networks and specialized facilities, including key locations like Tucson Medical Center, Banner University Medical Center, South and Tucson campus, and whatever that is, St. Joseph and St. Mary's Hospital. Right there's 4, including rehabilitation centers and specialty hospitals. There are at least 8 to 10 major medical facilities in the area. 8 to 10, but there's 4 major. Girl! Fuck. I kind of hope Annie's head was just like in chaos at this point. Chaos. She didn't know what to do. She was just doing what she thought she needed to do. But man, I would have called my siblings. Hey, have you heard from mom?
all the hospitals before you call your sister who loves her mom? It's your sister. I don't care that she's in New York. It's the first thing you would do. You would call a mutual. And once again, I am empathetic for this loss and I feel horrible, but I want this person to be found. I want justice to be served here. So I see so many holes in this story of that timeline. Okay, I have a thought about Savannah's interview today. I have many thoughts about it.
Go back here. Dang.
A retired.
Oh
Got down with this.
I didn't think you get 2 Nancy Benet Ramsey updates in one day. It feels like the heat of February all over again. But Sheriff Nano says that Nancy's still alive. He believes, he has faith. He says just bring her home. Just drop her off at a local hospital.
1 day ago.
He has no regrets about his investigation. Number one, he told this to a local news station, Tucson 4 News. And he says that he believes that Nancy is still out there. Somebody knows something, and he says, just bring her home. Drop her off at a local news station. Did I just fall out of a coconut tree? Like, what? This is who's running the investigation? He thinks that after 52 days, elderly 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, who couldn't walk on her own, that's in need of medication, that had a pacemaker that has since gone off the grid, he thinks that she's alive. I mean, not that I don't think she's alive, because, like, that's, like, not a nice thing to think, but, like...
Yeah. Come on, be real.
I mean, come on.
See?
I don't think she's alive. I know we don't want to say that out loud, but, like, we listen and we don't judge. There's no way. The coyotes got her. Like, something happened. Like, there's no way. After she's 52 days held in captivity, someone just, is, like, sitting there filing their nails and they have Nancy in the basement? Or if she's in the basement, she's under the concrete. I'll tell you that right now. But, like, in what world do we think Nancy Guthrie is still alive?
Yeah.
Like, it's been...
You focus...
Sadly...
It is so sad to say this. Nancy Guthrie is still
missing. And tonight, as we approach almost 2 months since she disappeared.
First thing I wanted to ask you, Rick, is
18 hours
You
ago.
still stand by the theory that multiple people were involved in this abduction?
I still stand by the theory. I really believe.
I can't get on
Former
board with
boss of the sheriff.
Jennifer Coffendorfer.
Former boss. Stunning.
2 days ago, 1 day ago. What we know about the Nancy Guthrie case and the
Family
bigger
has
picture.
recently come out with a new plea for information. We hope people search their memories, especially around the key timelines of January 31st and the early morning hours of February 1st. This is when we believe Nancy Guthrie disappeared. As well, they said, as the late evening of January 11th. And that raised some questions because why January 11th when she disappeared several weeks after? We got a little bit of clarification from a Today Show report. Remember, Savannah Guthrie works for NBC. The Today Show is the very premier morning show for NBC. Google was able to find some additional images around Nancy Guthrie's house. Initially, it was thought that these images were around January 11th, but now it's not so sure if it's January 11th. Day 52.
Hold on. Okay. I'm trying to pause it without having it because I already got it filtered. Anyways. Okay. She was gone 31st. January 11th. There's still going to be camera footage. This is where Nanos dropped the freaking ball because he did not send people out or FBI because, you know, we all know about Nanos. Shout out Pima if you're watching. Anyways, they should have gone and did their surveillance into that area around her home. They should have just like looked down at the map, figure, okay, if they're coming from this way, this would be the way I would try to go out and come in. It's undercover, it's da 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 da. Or if they came from this way, same thing. They should have been at every little like into that subdivision, whatever you want to call it, should have been asking for that footage right away. Right away. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna walk up to a missing person's house, and I'm assuming Annie and them were outside. Maybe. Let's just assume they're outside waiting for the cops. First thing they're gonna say is, there's blood on the doorstep. Blood on doorstep instant, that should have been a missing person. Right then and there, the cops should have been canvassing that neighborhood looking for videos. That's what I think. That's how I would run my little shift area people. But
11th. And in fact, they're having a hard time timestamping it. So this is part of this developing story that we're not getting any more secure, firm facts on. And we'll see if we have that break in the case that so many have been hoping for in recent weeks. You know, as I was thinking about this story, I think one of the natural questions is, well, wait a minute, this person's getting a lot of attention, but there's a lot of missing people that aren't getting any attention at all. And I thought this statistic was very interesting. If you look back over the last several years of statistics, we look and see that a national average of missing people were recorded around 660,000 a year. That's one database. The FBI has a different one that says there's about 533,000 missing people recorded in the most recent data collection over the last year. But check out this statistic. About 90% were canceled. So the searches were canceled or solved or otherwise resolved in some way. So that's a high statistic that I don't think I would guess if you said to me, well, how many missing people do you think law enforcement is able to help resolve or resolves on its own? For example, if someone's a runaway and then they end up coming home, you know, what would that statistic be? I probably would not say 90%. So that's something just to kind of keep in your mind as this one missing person has been elevated because of clear ties to the media, but also Nancy Guthrie doesn't actually fit the preconceived notion of someone that is missing. A woman that's in her retirement age that has somewhat of a public persona because of her daughter, but seems very much beloved by so many. So why would she be targeted? What actually happened here? There's a great...
Nancy Guthrie and her family, Savannah, her sister Annie, her brother, and the
like talk about being frustrated. Like, I'm seriously frustrated with this case. March 5th visitation to Saturday. Wait. Was this taped on March 5th? Let me see what's nerdy out it got. Mm. Oh, wow. I don't know. I'm over it. I'm done and over it, like, the bullshit that's gone on in this case. Oh, why did Savannah call Mark Kelly before calling police? That makes zero sense. Arizona Senator Mark Kelly before mother's disappearance became public because she knew him personally and knew he lived in the Tucson area. Kelly immediately notified Tucson police to initiate an investigation while Savannah was traveling. Oh, that kind of makes me wonder how many followers does this person have? Oh, okay. I kind of wonder if Savannah knew that Nanos is a POS and everything he touches just falls apart. So I wonder if that's why she called Mark Kelly. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Let me see something here. See what JLR's got. Savannah Guthrie is returning. We already know that. Let me see, release more details of the interview. We'll go over that. Day 55. Nancy Guthrie interview part 1. What is this? I saw the weirdest thing weeks ago when Annie was seen alone driving to Nancy's home in a white vehicle going into the garage door. I remember that. Okay, I remember when that happened. And that's when they left. Seriously, I'm about to. Oh. I'm going pro se all the way, baby. Let them pay $50K for a lawyer or dance with me, pro se. Oh, who is he gonna sue? Said she had a phone call with her brother Cameron, who told her. Okay, yeah, we already know that. Let's see. We've already seen all this. There is one though that I wanted to I wanted to do some looking into, and I closed it out. What is the guy's name? Hold on. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's see, what's his name? Eric. Is it F? I'm probably spelling it wrong. Oh my god. Oh, why do we have Google on there? Let me see. Missing. I've done a lot of looking up. Missing. Oh my god. What? Let me see. What? Oh god. Flight attendant Columbia. This is what I wanted to look up. I wanted to see this. Partner flight attendant missing in Columbia speaks out. This guy flew from Florida to Columbia, and it was supposed to be a one-night stay, and he ended up going missing. Let me see, 2 days ago, 20 hours. I'm trying to find something that's earlier. 16 one day, 10 hours. Where did I just see that 2 days ago? Missing in Columbia. People last seen a missing AA flight attendant having criminal. Oh, I didn't know that.
So, Jessica, is there anyone you like?
Like anyone here?
Oh my gosh, let's do Home Code Explorer.
Yes, it helps you shop, quote, and buy the right coverage for you, even if it's not with us.
What do you think of this option? You look so good together.
Don't hate me. I just told him that you're interested.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
Oh, I know. Let's prank call each other.
That's not how that works, Jamie.
Investigators in Colombia say they have made progress in the case of the missing flight attendant from North Texas.
Investigators say that they have potential leads and have identified people who may have encountered the 32-year-old the night he went missing. Friends are speaking out now, some 4 days since his disappearance. Our Candace Sweat has the story.
Ernesto Carranza knew something was wrong Sunday morning.
That's when I said this is not because even though he work phone could have been a second option of communication.
His boyfriend, American Airlines flight attendant Eric Fernando Gutierrez Molina, last made contact Saturday night during a work layover in Medellin, Colombia.
I messaged him, have a good night, be safe, love you, and he just messaged, okay, perfect, love you back, I'm gonna go out and hang out with my crew.
Now, days later, Gutierrez Molina's disappearance has made national headlines. The Secretary of Security of Medellin, Manuel Vila Mejia, addressed the case at a news conference, announcing major developments.
De nacionalidad estadounidense.
He says evidence suggests Gutierrez Molina and a co-worker encountered people with prior records for theft and possession of drugs used to immobilize people. His co-worker was later found disoriented and in need of medical attention. Gutierrez Molina, though, remains missing.
A un establecimiento público.
Mejia says Gutierrez Molina's father has received emotional and legal support since his arrival in Medellin in search of his son. Back home, Fernando's disappearance has taken a toll.
You said you haven't slept. How have the last 4 nights been for you?
Horrible. It's the worst feeling ever, not knowing the uncertainty, keeping faith, but it's
Okay, well, we can't play that. So that's nice. But yeah, I wanted to check that out. I saw that this morning on Good Morning America. But all right, I'm going to get off here. Anything new breaks, I'll be back on. I may come back on. But if you're replay crew, if you want to do a watch party for that special tonight with Savannah on the Nancy thing, let me know. I'll check my comments. I may just end up doing a watch party. It'll be 9 p.m. Eastern time. So I am Eastern, so I will be on exactly
same
at
time.
9.
We're all human.
Longtime friend Sharon Gill also.
There we go. I can hear it in the background. But yeah, if you want to do a little replay, we can do that tonight. But all right, I'll see you guys later.